That's wild. Did you ever see your grandpa's cock?
Yeah, one time.
I did too. Yeah.
Really?
Yours? No, I saw. Yeah, I saw him. Yeah.
Wow. I'll tell you my story. I would go to my grandparents' house all the time and stuff. I would stay the night there and stuff. And they had a shower in the basement. And sometimes my grandpa used that shower, but the basement also had like, the refrigerator down there, the soda, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So I opened the door to go down the stairs. My grandpa's walking up the stairs, ass naked, just completely butt naked. And I go, ah! And I'm like 10 and I freak out. And I shut the door and I like run through that. I'm like, ah, I saw grandpa naked. Yeah. And then my grandpa, after he gets dressed and things, he comes up to me, and this was the worst part. He sits me down and he goes, in the Army, we saw each other naked all the time, and there wasn't anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Man should be able to see another man naked. And he's just my grandpa, who I just saw his cock, is looking me in the eye and says, there's nothing wrong with seeing a man naked.
Well, it sounds like your grandpa was very progressive.
He was progressive, although when two guys kissed in a movie, he would look away. I swear to God.
Yeah, he's a 5-year-old boy. He never got it.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Two guys kissed in a movie. He'd go, ugh, and my grandma would go, stop it, Joe.
Oh, you were named after him.
I was named after him.
Now, what was your dad's name?
My dad's real name was Edward, but his middle name was Jerome, and he went by Jerome his whole life. Everybody called him Jerome.
So you're just Joe. There's no Joe the Third.
There's no Joe the Third.
I always thought that would be kind of fun to be a third.
It'd be nice to be a third. Yeah, just to be a third in bed with somebody. That would be a good start for me. I am a guy, and I think I have a theory, there's about 20 to 70 million guys, probably more, probably 100 million guys like this in this country who fall in the category of, oh man, I almost had a threesome once.
Yeah. Everybody I talked to, I was this close.
This close to having a threesome. It was, it was just logistics. Couldn't figure out the logistics. I had a buddy one time who got a threesome, and he coordinated it for like a month. I mean, he was working night and day doing spreadsheets, sending emails, and doing calendars and stuff. And
it does seem difficult. Now, I haven't never gotten close. No. I've written about it in my dream journal every night for the past 7 years.
And that's important. You're doing the work.
Yeah. I'm doing the work. I'm laying the groundwork.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I never got close.
Tell me this. How did you see your grandpa's dick?
Well, we lived in the country.
We used to suck each other off.
And there's nothing. Grown men should be allowed to suck each other off.
Yeah.
No. We lived in the country on a farm.
Say no more.
Yeah. Pretty much. We lived in the country. So we would sometimes... The Mabry men would go outside to pee instead of going to the...
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay.
And we would just go on the front porch.
There's nothing more liberating than pissing into the open...
It's the best
fields.
Best feeling in the world.
Best feeling in the world. Can't do that here.
There was a patch of grass by our front porch that was just yellow because it wouldn't grow. It was riddled with urine.
Dude, we used to, my dad's house growing up, my brothers and I would pee out our room, we shared a room, all three of us upstairs when we were really little. And there was a window, and we were too lazy to go down to the bathroom. So we'd open the window late at night and piss out the window. And it would we'd go down the roof, and there was just a white stream. Like the roof was like a brown tile, but there was just this white, blown out stream coming down from our room, and our dad never really quite knew what. I think he knew, but we were all just taking pisses out the window. We were animals.
That's pretty bad.
Hey, listen, I wasn't in a supervisor position at this time.
Yeah, you're just following orders.
I was just a pig in the pig pen, dude. And the way you grew up on a farm, I grew up on kind of a farm. It was like 5 acres.
Yeah.
And my dad would just let us run wild and stuff.
Yeah.
But parents now are insane. You know that. Parents are
call
insane.
them helicopter parents.
Yeah, helicopter parents.
Yeah.
And here's one thing, Trent, that the parents are doing.
Tell me.
Now, this is an article from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, okay.
And this says, here's the headline: Parents obsess over camp photos. Some scrutinize snapshots for any sign of sadness.
Jeez.
So in the past, when there's sleepaway camps, your parents drop you off. Maybe they get a letter in the mail from you.
Yeah.
With a postcard and a picture. Now there's fucking live streaming the live stream the potato sack race. There's uploads of photos every morning.
Yeah.
And the parents are going through the pictures and they're going, why is Tommy not have any friends?
My God. This is quite... Oh, it's infuriating.
Yeah, and they go, one parent describes it, said, it's an addiction, said Stacy Johnson of Manalapan, New Jersey. Every morning she scrolls through hundreds of photos looking for her 11-year-old daughter, Liv, and her son, Jace, 8. They go for 7 weeks to Camp Chinawanda in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And she's more concerned about Jace, a first-time camper. In a video from a dance party at Camp Chinawamba, she said he wasn't joining any of the fun. She guessed he was sad because parent visiting day had ended only a few hours earlier.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Or he just doesn't want to dance.
Or why worry about it at all?
Yeah, why worry about it? Let your kid live a little.
Let Jace figure it out. He goes, okay.
This is only hurting him.
This is not helping him.
His future generations are going to read about this in the Wall Street Journal.
Imagine if you're Jace.
Yeah, he's going to get shoved in a locker. You go, dance in that, you son of a bitch. You little loser, you dweeb.
Imagine being in Jason's
I'm sure
shoes.
Mommy's watching.
It's your first time at camp, and then it's the parent drop off day or whatever, and then you're there for 2 hours and people are dancing and you're 8 and you don't know what to do, and then you get a phone call from your mom going, Jace, honey, darling, is everything all right? Is everything all right? Does Mommy need to come back to camp?
Do you not like the music?
Is the music bothering you, Jace? Sweetheart Jace. Why are they dancing with you? You are handsome.
Oh, God. That's brutal.
Here's a quote. He doesn't look thrilled, she wrote. And then here's an interaction.
He's at a dance. Dances are for girls.
Could not agree
guy
more.
Has ever had fun at a dance.
Never had fun unless you get lucky to grind with Peggy Sue. And rub your 13-year-old cock on Peggy Sue.
Yeah, but this is
not this kind of dance. It's like a bonfire dance, whatever. Here's a conversation she had with her husband. She goes, he doesn't look thrilled. And he said, you're nuts. He looks focused. Which is also really funny.
Yeah, they're both insane.
Photocopter parents hover a far distance from their own parents. Photocopter, yeah, that's the term for these.
Wow.
Their own parents who generally drop them off at summer camp, the expectation of maybe a letter. Some camps now live stream sport tournaments and other special events on Instagram.
Camp is about getting away from the family.
It's about getting away and finding yourself.
Yeah.
Finding yourself at camp. You may not be dancing by the first night, but by the last night, doggone it, you're feeling the Chubbawamba spirit is coming through you. Is that what it was called? Chinawanda. Not Chumbawamba.
No, but I'm sure if you get knocked down, you back up again.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I think that perhaps if they're playing that song, he might jump in the dance line.
Well, that is a song. Now, I'm no dancer, but if Tub Thumping comes on, I'll bust a move.
Oh, when I was 8, I wasn't holding any punches. I was doing somersaults to that thing.
Now, this is a little different, but at an 8th grade dance or even prom, you should be dancing with a lady.
You should at least be able to fake it.
Yeah. Would you ever go up to a lady and ask her, "Hey, excuse me, ma'am, would you like this dance?
Would you like this dance?"
Yeah.
That's the only way. Well, I was raised as a gentleman, so that is how I asked that question.
Yeah.
I think I did do that.
Yeah.
But it was only after an hour and 45 minutes of staring across
when the DJ goes, "All right, last song."
Yeah. The DJ goes, "All right, so if you want to make that big," that must be so fun to be those DJs and go, which one of these little bonered up twerps is going to cross the...
He's finally going to get the nerve. Which one of these losers is going to get the nerve?
Get the nerve.
Task.
And but that gulf between the boys and girls for every dance, it's like no man's land. It's like you're in World War I. It's trench warfare.
Yeah.
No one moves an inch. And then you got one brave soldier runs out there.
Oh, yeah. You got a guy who's got nothing to lose. His family doesn't love him, and he's got nothing to lose.
He's got nothing to lose. He runs out there, and then he gets a dance, and when he returns home, he's never the same. He's got a drinking problem.
But that's the thing. Girls like bad boys.
Oh, love a bad boy.
And
they say they don't, but they do.
They do.
They even say they do.
Yeah. But I never worked up the courage until...
Really? See, I did, like 7th or 8th grade. I worked up the courage, but it was with someone that it was like my girlfriend, quote unquote, who I'd never spoken to before.
Yeah.
And so it was nice. I introduced myself after 3 months of dating at the dance, and I asked her she would have this dance.
Yeah, I had a few girlfriends I never spoke a single word to.
No, I wouldn't dream of it.
wouldn't dream of it. Anyway, this kind of plays into that.
Okay.
This is from the Wall Street Journal. Business lunches are back, and everyone feels awkward.
Business lunches are back. Okay, tell me more.
Skip the pasta. Work events have people relearning the art of dining while networking.
Because we've been locked away for years.
We've been locked away. Business lunches, dinners, and network events with pass trays of canopies. I don't even know what that means.
Pass trays of canopies?
Is that...
Canops. It's not canopies. Trays
I still don't know what it means.
Canopies. It must be some sort of hors d'oeuvre.
Maybe an hors d'oeuvre. Are back with a vengeance this year. So are the awkward performances that attendees have to put on to endure them.
Some of these people write these articles. It's like, where are they coming up with this stuff? How do they find out about this?
I don't know. But so people, they've been holed up in the house so long.
Right.
They're nervous about interacting. They're little Jace over here.
We're all Jace.
We're all Jace, and we never grow out of it.
Well, not when my mom's called me every 5 minutes.
It never gets better. I thought it would get better when you became an adult.
No, well, I think is part of the problem too, because someone like myself, I entered a corporate type environment where there's networking and dinners and lunches and things during the pandemic for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
Before that, I wasn't working in a corporate setting. So now if someone wants to meet me in the city for a drink and they're a potential client, I show up there and I'm like, it is awkward. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm used to Zoom calls.
Yeah.
So I'm not wearing a suit, I'll go like a button down, and they asked me to pick a place in Manhattan. I'm like, what are we getting? What do we have lunch?
Now, when you go to the place, what do you order?
Well, I got really... I met one guy in the city at a big business or whatever, and he said, let's meet at a bar or whatever, like noon.
Yeah.
And I go, we could grab lunch. He was like, let's just have a quick drink or whatever. And I work in beverage alcohol.
Yeah.
So people drink and stuff.
Right.
But he goes there, and he's looking at like the beer menu and stuff. And so I grab the beer menu and stuff, and I'm telling him about the business stuff. And then I just assume at this point that he's drinking, so I'm going to have a drink. So I order, we take my order first, and I was like, I'll have a Heineken. And the guy was like, he's like, yeah, I'll have a cup of coffee. Christ. And I was like, come on, man. You said drink. We're meeting at a bar.
Right.
You suggest bar. You grab the beer menu.
You work in alcohol sales.
And now I got a 1-2 switch. So it is awkward. Now I'm sitting there with the Heineken at 12:15, and he's got a cup of coffee.
Yeah, well, that's what part of the issue is. People are afraid to order. So sit down meals. All eyes are on what everybody is ordering. For many people, that means picking a dry salad.
What? A dry salad?
Yeah, they don't want any dressing or anything for fear of dripping it on their blouse.
You know what it is? It's the microplastics.
We've totally lost our mind.
We've lost our capability to do anything in the world.
Yeah, you can't. And these are people in high profile positions.
Yeah,
that are riddled with anxiety and guilt for eating food.
Well, you know what it was? It was like for decades, you'd wear a suit, you'd go to work in a suit, you'd have one of these lunches. You said, "Carl, I want to take you to Sicilione's. I want to take you to Sicilione's, and I want to tell you why our business proposition is exactly what your company needs." You're there 20 minutes early. You've already got fucking the spread out. You're not eating in it, but you want Carl to have it. And then you have your fucking slides or whatever. and then we got shut into our bedrooms for 4 years, and now someone goes, "Hey, let's meet at Sicilione's," and you go, and now you're and now I'm wearing a t-shirt, and I don't know, do I order? I'll have a dry salad. Are there microplastics in there?
Oh, they're in everything.
We've lost our vigor, Trent.
We've lost our vigor. So people are eating dry salads, whatever the fuck that means, and then they're going home hungry. But other people get their fill other ways. Other people find ways to get their fill. A table of untouched desserts at a fundraiser prompted Kristen Hensley to flag down a catering staffer and ask for some macarons and a little chocolate cake to take with her. She asked for a to-go box at her...
Fucking eat one there, Caitlin.
Well, here's a quote. "They had to look for a box for me because they did not have to-go containers," said Hensley, who co-hosts a web series called #ImMomSoHard. Seems like the most unsufferable bitch in the world. I'm not proud. I will doggy bag.
What? I'm sorry. Where do they find these people? Where do they get these stories? There's a story that people find corporate, because we're talking about this and I'm trying to get behind it and be like, oh yeah, maybe that is what's going on now. No. But another part of me is going, who is this that's finding this story that people feel socially awkward at lunches, and then they're interviewing a lady who has a YouTube channel called #MomSoHard to be like, have you ever had a weird lunch?
And she goes, have I had a weird lunch? One time I asked for a chocolate cake to go, and they looked like me like I was a fucking insane person.
Well, let me see. So, Trent, I don't think you're gonna like this. I know your brain, and but here's the headline of this one. Yeah. Prehistoric worms revived. They're back, baby. In a Jurassic Park like scenario. Yeah. And I'm missing the very first chunk of this, but basically, some scientists have been working tirelessly because there's nothing. They got nothing better to do. Right. They got nothing better to do with their time. We got global warming. They should be figuring out how to stop that. But instead, we have brought back a 46,000-year-old worm that was frozen. And I think it's... Okay, so here's a quote from the article. "Single-celled organisms, including bacteria, have been shown to spend millions of years in a state of cryptobiosis." But 46,000 years is a record for animals. "Cryptobiosis in this organism could be indefinite," said one. "Could the secrets of cryptobiosis help people survive being frozen or hurtled into outer space?
Fuck off.
That remains in the realm of science fiction." But I don't know what cryptobiosis is.
No, I don't either, and I don't want to. Quite frankly.
But I think it's what those little alien fuckers came in that spacecraft, and they found the dead alien. I think they had them in cryptobiosis.
Did they actually find a dead alien?
Who knows what's going on with that?
You know, honestly, I feel I don't care. I don't care if there's aliens. I couldn't be less interested if they're the news story. I feel like most people, nobody's really talking about it.
No one's really talking about it now.
Why is that? 20 years ago, people would have been losing their minds. Now it's just another day in the park. There's so much going on now. Yeah. Because 22 years ago, there was so little happening in the news before 9/11 that like vanity plates were the Republicans' main talking points on cars. They're like, we've got to do something about vanity plates. Yeah. And, Y2K, we made that up to preoccupy ourselves. Sure.
But yeah, aliens were all the rage. And that guy basically came out and said, they're here.
They're here, and it was met with a collective, okay.
I don't know if anyone said that. I mean, I haven't heard anything really.
No, I haven't either. But I have heard about this, and I think the scientists that are doing this should be shot in the head.
Yeah, imagine working for 20 years to unfreeze a worm that's 50,000 years old, and then you did it, and you go, honey, you call up your wife, and you go, honey, I'm going to fuck you so hard tonight. We got the worm unfrozen, baby. I am rock hard. I'm coming home. I've got something to give you, baby.
The worm is soft. My cock is hard. Oh, yeah. What good would come of this? Oh, unfreezing a worm, an old worm. Gee, thanks. It really does me a world of good.
They don't do it because it's easy, Trent. They're doing it because it is hard. This is the get a man on the moon of our day, is unfreezing this worm. Unfreeze this worm. These guys, they did 15 years of college. They had $100 million worth of debt.
Yeah.
And then they spent every night in a lab they tried microwaving it. They tried bringing it to a soft boil. They tried simply thawing it.
Yeah, leaving it out on a hot day.
leaving it under running water. In a kitchen sink. None of it worked.
Yeah.
None of it worked. It took a lot of really hard work. But you know what? God damn it. They unfroze that worm.
Yeah, they unfroze it. Now they can use it for bait.
Also, who's like, you know what there's not enough of?
Worms.
If only we could find a frozen worm and bring new types of worms. Yeah, what'll they think of next? A new fucking cockroach? Unfreeze a cockroach? Why can't they unfreeze something cool that we want to see, like a fucking mammoth?
Well, they've tried. They're trying that. They're trying to make a woolly mammoth.
That didn't seem like a good. I just said.
Doesn't seem like a good idea at all. No. But it's fine. They cured cancer. They did all the stuff they wanted to do. So let them fuck with the worm.
They did take care of AIDS.
Yeah.
I think they've made a lot of progress on cancer. So it's the worm's time now. And once they figure that out, they'll finally move on to autism.
Well, maybe one of the scientists' partners got them a congratulatory video on Cameo, Joe. You know Cameo?
I
You familiar with Cameo?
Yeah.
Well, it's where people hire celebrities to wish them a happy birthday or an anniversary. Well, people hire this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh.
People hire D-list celebrities to deliver their bad news.
People are hiring like very low-ranking celebrities to deliver bad news.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Personalized videos from actors aren't reserved just for happy birthday messages. So, basically...
Wow.
So, yeah. So, Cameo originally started out as... like some guy would wish you a happy birthday who was on 90210 in the 90s, and Luke Perry would wish you a happy birthday. But now this recent trend, last year, this guy Christopher Gonzalez, a 35-year-old motion graphics designer, quit his job by dropping into a company-wide Slack channel a cameo video from William Hung. Now, do you know who William Hung is?
I don't know who William Hung is.
He was on the third season of American Idol. He was kind of an Asian guy who not kind of, he was
kind of an Asian guy.
He was an Asian guy who sang very bad, and that was at a time when he could make fun of Asian guys.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So they mocked him publicly.
And he became a huge joke. Well, anyway, this guy hired him to quit his job.
So these poor guys, they tried to make it in Hollywood. They never had a career.
Yeah.
And now they're getting hired to fucking announce your divorce to your wife.
Well, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
It's no exaggeration, Joe. Now I have no idea who this guy is. Robbie Berger. He's a cameo celebrity.
Bobby Berger.
He's a 30-year-old sports content creator, which could mean anything.
Is he playing tennis?
He recently got a video request from a man who wanted help asking for a divorce. Asking for a divorce.
Wow.
From his wife. That was one of the most bizarre ones I've ever had, Berger said. The husband that requested it said that it would soften the blow if it came from me.
I can't wait to hire the guy who played Professor Quirrell to tell every woman I've dated that I have HPV. He has HPV.
But could you imagine if you were married and your wife surprised she go, honey, I got you something, and then it's Cam Newton. And he goes, hey Joe, I know you're a big fan. Your wife doesn't love you anymore. She wants a divorce.
I go, Cam? I think you have a couple good years left.
You're just absolutely blindsided.
Yeah, they're getting the fucking the boy from Shiloh, who's an adult now, to tell you that your wife miscarried.
But this is the saddest one, okay? Jaron Myers, a 29-year-old comedian.
Wait. All right, finish it.
Do you know who Jaron Myers is?
It's Jaron Myers, and yeah, I know who that is. Where is this going?
Jaron Myers, a 29-year-old comedian, got a request for a video to convey a woman's disinterest in a date. Hey, this is a quote. Hey, Ethan, last weekend you met a girl named Morgan, Myers says in the video. You had told her that I'm your favorite comedian, and so she hired me on Cameo to break the news that would hopefully hit a little softer. Thanks for being a fan, man, Myers wrapped up. I really hope that you find somebody, just not Morgan. Leave that girl alone.
Leave that girl alone?
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. I know Jaron.
Really?
I know Jaron. He's from Kansas City.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I would categorize him. This says D-list celebrity. Yeah. You'd have to scroll back further into the alphabet for Jaron. Yeah. I would maybe put him in an M or a W list celebrity.
Wow.
Although in the church community, very high up.
Oh, really?
Big church guy.
Big church guy.
Yeah.
So, and
gay for Christ.
And he's this guy's favorite comedian. And if somebody hired my favorite comedian, if I went on one date with a girl, and she hired my favorite comedian to say, "Hey,
man,
this girl, she doesn't like you," I'd put a bullet in my brain.
Let me hire your hero.
Let me hire your hero to embarrass you.
Man, I gotta call up Jaron.
We should get him on the pod for another show. Welcome anytime.
Well, I've got some work for him. I've got some work. I've got some gigs I need to hire him for.
Yeah.
That's the funniest. I cannot believe that. I'm actually speechless. Also, he's 29. He looks like he's 38.
Well, he's probably going to listen to this.
I know. You're fat, Jaron. Lose some weight. Please tell me how to make my podcast successul. He's so good at the internet. God, he's crushing it.
Really?
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
No, he's doing great. Good friend of the show. Welcome anytime. Jaron Myers.
Jaron Myers.
Keep breaking hearts out there and come on come on the show sometime. Man, I wonder how many of those he's done. I wonder how many fucking lives he's ruined.
It said quite a few.
People he's driven to suicide. But at least he has God in his life.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Great guy. Well, so, man, they're going to have to hire Jaron for this one, Trent.
Oh, no.
They should have hired Jaron for this
one.
And what's so crazy about it is they could have hired him a few times. So this one is wild. I don't even know where to begin. Now, this is an article from the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
But the headline reads, Police probe of hiker death gets scrutiny. So basically what happens is a kid died, and he was hiking with a dog.
Okay. Tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time. He died, and the county police department has really bungled the case.
Yeah.
They've really, really bungled the case. So, basically, what happened is they found a bullet in him, and there was a wound in the dog. And then there was a guy who came forward and confessed he thought he saw an animal attacking him, so he shot a dog. And then he said the bullet must have gone through the dog and hit the guy who he did not see.
Sure.
But there was no...
I see no reason not to believe him.
See, I see no reason not to believe him either. Although, that was only after that someone else found the kid's body. I might be botching this. So it's a very complicated story.
Okay.
But they said that they said that he must have overdosed on marijuana.
What?
They said that.
How old is this kid?
I think he's like 19. Let me see if
19.
see if I can find it. So they believe that he had a massive heart attack, and they thought that was maybe from
The vaccine.
the vaccine. No, they thought it was weed that was laced. And this guy lives in the Pacific Northwest, and his brother, who's been looking into all this stuff, he goes, "We live in the Pacific Northwest where weed is legal. No one is dying of laced marijuana."
Right.
So there's somebody came forward within the county and said that he had a heart attack, laced marijuana, and he goes, "Okay, well that's great. Why is there a bullet in him?"
Well, the bullet was laced with marijuana.
Exactly. Yeah, it's an open and shut case.
Yeah. That's
This is not just hiccups. This is not just hiccuping. It's setting off seismographs. 10 months later, authorities haven't filed charges against anyone, even though a man admitted to shooting a gun nearby that matched the bullet found in Aaron Christensen's chest. And then he said he shot the dog, and there was no exit wound on the dog. We have a case of a magic bullet. A bullet entered the dog, went out the same hole, took a U-turn, and went into this kid.
There must have been a second shooter.
That's what I think as well.
Where's the grassy knoll play into this?
Brandy Frey, a local veterinarian, examined Buzzo, the dog, not the boy,
Yeah.
and determined the puppy had died of a stab wound. She said
What?
She said she was surprised when the sheriff and coroner officials gave her account of the dog being shot. The dog wasn't shot at all. The dog was stabbed. Faye said she told him it was impossible because there was no bullet in the dog and no exit wound. Unbeknownst to Faye, the local prosecutor's office advised investigators to seek a second opinion. A different vet from Portland peeled the puppy's skin back and found an exit wound that had been hidden under its fur. She concluded that Buzzo had been killed by a bullet that passed through its body. The first vet, Faye, wanted to see this exit wound. Months later, she examined the wound and found that there was no bleeding around it. It led her to suspect that the wound had been fabricated, been made by somebody after the first examination.
Jesus Christ.
Quote, "Dead dogs don't bleed."
And sleeping dogs lie.
If you let them.
That's a wild story, Joe.
It's a wild story where they threw heart attack, laced marijuana. I mean, all kinds of things.
Well, let me tell you something. Something does not add up in Lewis County, Washington.
That's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, look at this guy. Actually, this might have been the guy that... Actually, I think the guy who died might have been like 45.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, so never mind. I kind of lost interest as well. But anyway, hope for the best for his brother and his family, and hope they figure that out soon.
Yeah.
What a horrific tragedy. Yeah, that's what we love to have on the pod.
Yeah, well, hopefully this will cheer us up. Good God.
Yeah, that's brutal.
A dog dying. Who would have thought the least sad part of that story would be figuring out whether the dog was shot to death or stabbed to death?
Or laced with marijuana.
Yeah. Anyway, this is from the Wall Street Journal, Joe. Bad actors in theaters have left moviegoers annoyed.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's in what movies specifically?
Well, the headline's a bit of a play on words.
Like bad actors.
Bad actors in the theater. Audience members.
In the theaters.
Barbenheimer might be good for theaters, but it is bringing out some bad behavior in theater goers.
Can't anybody just enjoy anything anymore?
Well, no, they can't. Many attendees are forgetting the cardinal rule. Never take out a phone during the film. Instead, people are picking out selfies to post, scrolling during dull moments, even taking pictures of the screen with the flash on. TikTok is inspiring a new generation of theater goers to act out and even post their antics on social media.
I mean, I know it's true because we go to the Regal Astoria.
Yeah.
And if it's happening anywhere, it's happening there. But you know me, Trent. My opinion is if I'm going to a big movie theater like that, depending on the movie, I don't care if people are throwing popcorn around, giving each other hand jobs, making calls, shooting some rounds into the ceiling.
You're gonna be more wrong, Joe.
For a fun movie, like a thrasher film, I say let the hand jobs fly, spray soda all over the place, burn the place down. And personally, I like to take my popcorn bucket and dump it on the ground for the help.
Yeah, well, I do that.
Yeah.
Leave it for the help.
Yeah,
but,
it's not my problem.
Yeah, but I couldn't disagree more. I pay $20 to go to a movie. I want to watch the movie. I don't want to.
No, it is annoying, and if it's a movie that I really want to see, it drives me insane when anybody is.
But not only I haven't really seen it. Luckily, I haven't seen a lot of people taking selfies and stuff. But I went to see Oppenheimer, which you still haven't seen. But there's a part. I don't want to spoil anything, Joe. But there's a part in the movie where the atomic bomb goes off.
What?
Yeah. But anyway, it's a very cool scene. You're enthralled with it, but it goes completely silent. And some guy who thought he was funny timed his alarm to go off.
What?
His alarm on his phone.
Oh, because you see the countdown?
No, he must have saw it on the internet. He must have saw it on TikTok.
That's way worse. What a fucking twat.
Yeah. I know. I wish I
don't want to bash a beer bottle over his head.
I would at that moment. I wish an orange-haired loner walked into the theater.
What was his alarm sound like?
It's like the regular iPhone.
Did he laugh? Did all him and his friends laugh?
He laughed, and I wonder.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
What a lame. Yeah. What a lame prank.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ruin the movie for everybody. Set my alarm off.
It pissed me off to no end.
You should have taken your fucking popcorn tub and shoved it on his head.
I took my fucking giant Coke and threw it in his fucking face.
No one deserves to live less than this man. I can definitively say that.